Okay, we're also getting in news that the NIA has also registered an FIR against the hardline Kashmiri separatist leader Saeed Ali Shah Geelani. He was earlier named in the NIA preliminary inquiry. Bitta Karate had revealed on India Today's Sting that Saeed Ali Shah Geelani, in fact, is among those who had been receiving money from Pakistan for years together to stoke unrest in the valley. But now the NIA is stepping up heat on Saeed Ali Shah Geelani as well, probing the role of the Lashkar-e-Taiba chief Hafiz Mohammed Saeed and hardline Kashmiri separatist leader Saeed Ali Shah Geelani in various activities in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And now an FIR has also been registered against him as well. Okay, let me go straight across now to Managing Editor, TV Today Network, Rahul Kaval, for more on this. Rahul, this is a big impact of the India Today Sting operation, the government, turning up the heat on these Kashmiri separatists, and most importantly, these multiple raids that are being conducted.
This is a huge India Today impact. I don't recall any other story, any expose, any investigation in the last several years which has led to as sweeping a probe and as prompt action as what we're seeing right now from the National Investigation Agency. We started getting murmurs about possible raids from last night when the NIA teams were out and about in Srinagar, looking around at the residences of some of the most prominent businessmen. Some of the people who've been raided today are the ones who the National Investigation Agency now believes are responsible for funding the Hurriyat. Through their investigation, they've been speaking to the exact same people who were exposed by India Today in its now historic expose, the Hurriyat truth tapes, and they've now gone one step further after interrogating Naeem Khan, Bitta Karate, Ghazi Baba. They've now taken it one step further and raided those to whom the money came. We're told that some of the people who've been raided are those into whose accounts the money used to come from, where the Hurriyat and all its terror activities used to be funded.
Yes.
So this is a huge impact. Remember, there are 14 different locations in Srinagar which are being raided. There are 7 locations in Delhi. There was a reference to Bali Maran in our investigation where Naeem Khan talks about how the money comes from. It is in Bali Maran this morning that
Yes.
the NIA teams are raiding those who were responsible for routing the havala money. A lot of it used to come from the Middle East, from countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Dubai, into Old Delhi, the old walled city of Bali Maran, and from there to Srinagar. That whole route exposed by India Today, now part of this active NIA probe, and the NIA making some spectacular progress in very quick time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Ashutosh, you in fact have been also relentlessly asking those very tough questions from Bitta Karate. Tell me a little bit more about those raids that are presently taking place here in the national capital. Rahul, of course, getting us more details. But what's the latest that you have?
Avantika, the raids are underway in 7 places in the Delhi to the havala orators, because clearly the separatist leader, when they were caught in India Today's Operation Hurriyat,
Yes.
they admitted the fact that how the money that is coming from the enemy nation Pakistan, that is coming via different channel, different route, that including few havala orators, including few are sitting in Srinagar, few in national capital, where the NIA raid is being carried out. So these separatist leaders, when they evaded all the questions, they evaded substantial question. Now NIA, since it has made a watertight case against the leader, be it the terror funding or the money that is coming from an enemy nation to wage war against India, and also sections that also include that waging war against state. So these kind of serious sections has been filed in the FIR by the national investigative agencies against this Hurriyat leader, and raids are underway, including Naeem Khan, the Hurriyat leader, Bitta Karate, and Baba Ghazi. So clearly, and the biggest story is that this time NIA has also roped in a case against Saeed Ali Shah Geelani. So the senior Hurriyat leader is also in trouble. So these leaders who have been evading India Today's questions across these days, when right after we exposed their Pakistan nexus, these
Yes.
separatist leaders, how they are fueling unrest in the valley that is completely orchestrated and at behest of Pakistan. So this time they are going to really face a very tough time, as NIA has finally filed an FIR and raids are being carried out. NIA will also look into the nexus and the link between Saeed Ali Shah Geelani, the separate leader, also link the havala route, that money coming from Pakistan via different routes to these leaders. And once the link is established, we also hearing from our sources that these separate leaders can also be arrested. Avantika?
Absolutely. And Rahul, the investigative report, in fact, was proof of their devious designs to have, fanned the flames against India for years together. But we didn't leave it at that. We, in fact, relentlessly pursued the case, posing those tough questions to Bitta Karate. And, the pressure probably was telling. Naeem Khan threatening our reporters, calling the entire investigative report a fabricated story. Bitta Karate also making all sorts of allegations. But now, clearly, the NIA taking it upon themselves to really bring the truth out and build a waterproof case against them.
So this is also an investigation that's gone through phases. When Naeem Khan and Bitta Karate were interrogated originally in Srinagar, they pretended as if it was no big deal and they just made these very loose comments and that they didn't really mean what they said. So they tried to play down the significance of what they'd been captured on camera as having saying. Now the NIA didn't take that at face value. They kept probing. They asked for bank account details. They asked for other documents, which all of them together, bit by bit, started helping the NIA build a case and understand where the money was coming from. And by the time these three Hurriyat terrorists were brought from Srinagar to Delhi, the NIA then confronted them with very specific transaction details that explain where did you get such and such amount of money from, who gave it to you. That's when Naeem Khan and Ghazi Baba and Bitta Karate realized that their game was over, that they had no option. That's when they started speaking. That's when they spoke of them. Then they made it seem as if they were small operators, that Syed Ali Shah Geelani was the big fish. The majority of the money used to come to him. They only got a small part, which suited the NIA line of investigation as well, because that helped the NIA establish that Syed Ali Shah Geelani was involved. And then we've seen Sharad Kumar, the Director General of the National Investigation Agency, tell India Today in an interview that Syed Ali Shah Geelani will be interrogated as well, that he will be questioned by NIA salutes. Now, whether that happens in Srinagar or Delhi, that remains to be seen. However, his interrogation will be a very big deal. Remember, an FIR has now been lodged. Depending on how IG Shukla and his team want to move, there's a possibility that some of these Hurriyat terrorists could be arrested as well. So it depends. In any case, from our perspective, we're just tracking the probe. There's no pressure from our side. They're free to do it the way they want. They're proceeding with great speed. Avantika, we've done so many exposés over the last many years. We've seen agencies move with speed. We've seen them decide not to move with speed. In this instance, the energy and enthusiasm that the NIA has shown, the alacrity with which this probe is making progress is unprecedented. We've never seen such senior officers go down, participate in interrogations themselves, help the case move at a speed at which Indian cases usually don't move. That's the difference between other agencies and the NIA, for one, because it's supposed to be this crack anti-terror force. They move much faster. They have much smarter officials than the other agencies because you pick the best of the best. And secondly, there's also this commitment and this desire being pushed to ensure that justice is done in this case and done very quickly.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, Rahul, while you were speaking, we're getting in these live visuals from outside Naeem Khan's residence where the raids are presently taking place. And as you can see, there is a security that has been placed outside his residence as well. Hurriyat leader Naeem Khan also, just for the benefit of our viewers, just to refresh their memories, had threatened India Today's reporters. He had called the sting operation fabricated, raising those questions. In fact, let me go straight across now to Executive Editor Gaurav Samant for more on this. And Gaurav, clearly, this is a massive, impact of the Hurriyat True tapes, that investigative report that exposed these separatist leaders. They themselves, in fact, have been caught on camera confessing to have received funds from across the border for years together to cause unrest in the valley.
In fact, Avantika, it is actually the Hurriyat tapes that actually gave investigative agencies the first lead. They initiated investigations against these three leaders. First, Bitta Karate, Naeem Khan, Ghazi Baba. Subsequently, they've now gone on to, they will be questioning Syed Ali Shah Geelani. But that's just, one part of the story. Where is the money coming from? How is it being routed to fuel the stone pelters and the unrest in the Kashmir Valley? So money comes into Dariba, it comes into Balli Maran, it comes through a havala racket. How does this havala racket operate? How is money transferred then from Delhi to Srinagar, how are stone pelters and their handlers paid? All of this is a part of the investigation, and this time, from what government sources tell India Today, their aim is to ensure that the main funds that are provided to stone pelters and those to fuel unrest in the Kashmir Valley, they want to choke those funds and then bring out the truth of what's happening in the Kashmir Valley. So it's, hats off to Team Rahul Kamal for, unmasking the villains of the Hurriyat, the villains of the valley.
Absolutely. Ravinder Raina from the BJP is also joining us now. And sir, this is clearly an impact of India Today's investigative report, clinching proof of Pakistan financing mob violence for years together, exposing the Hafiz Hurriyat nexus. And now we're getting to hear about these multiple raids that are taking place across Kashmir and here in the national capital as well.
Avantika, first of all, I would like to congratulate you and your news channel India Today and ARTSAC for carrying out that very significant sting operation that you carried, and after that, whole world came to know the nefarious and dirty business of these leaders of Hurriyat Conference and these separatist leaders in Kashmir Valley. They were befooling the people of Kashmir on the name of Azadi. They were dealing them that they will provide them a separate nation. But when you and all your colleagues carried out the sting operation where these people accepted and that they were getting huge sum of amount from Pakistan to burn school, to burn the business establishment in
And sir, after showcasing, in fact, those Hurriyat truth tapes, our reporters were threatened. In fact, Yasin Malik even attacking one of our reporter who was out there to get a reaction from him.
You are very much right. This is the bravery of your journalist, and once again, all credit goes to you. No doubt, our government is doing very fantastically. We cracked down 14 places of the Hurriyat people in Kashmir Valley since last night. Many more raids are being carried out in New Delhi, national capital, and we are going more stringent against all these separatist leaders. But the credit goes to you and your teammates for exposing and providing us the video that authenticates the nefarious and the dirty workings of these people of Hurriyat Conference. Our government, we committed, and the Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh ji and all the Union government ministers on that particular day when Rahul Kamal approached the NSA and all others, we assured you at that particular day that we will definitely crack down on all these people of Hurriyat Conference, and we proved.
Absolutely, and that has always been the aim of the channel, to bring the truth out there for the nation to see. But Mr. Raina, tell us, what impact will these raids have on the devious activities that have been going on? How will really it help in the investigations? How will it help the NIA also to trace the terror funding?
It will definitely break the backbone of Hurriyat Conference and anti-national elements in Kashmir. Very firstly, there are two main reasons. One, people of Kashmir, after you people expose on video how these people accepting that they were getting huge amount from Pakistan to destabilize the Kashmir. After that exposure, the common man in Kashmir came to know the actual designs and actual aim and ambition of people of Hurriyat Conference. They are doing their businesses in Kashmir Valley. Second thing, people of Kashmir came to know that these people of Hurriyat Conference, they have developed their own business. Their own kids and kins are studying in London, America, Australia, in Mumbai, New Delhi. And on other hand, common Kashmiris are put, instead of providing them pens and books, they were given the guns and bullets. Second most important thing, after this crackdown, all other people, those who are raising slogans against nation, they must know that it is the Modi-led government, not the other governments. We will not be soft on anti-nationalism. We will not be soft on terrorism. We will hit them hard. We will hit hard the anti-national, what come may.
Okay, so that's the big news. Mr. Raina, thanks so much for speaking to us. The NIA raiding places in Kashmir. More than 20 places are being searched presently as I speak in Kashmir, in Delhi, over funding from Pakistan. The raids taking place at the residences of top separatist leaders' houses. In fact, the NIA also filing an FIR against Hafiz and other top separatists as well. We're going to continue to remain on the story. We're going to continue continue to get our viewers all the latest reports, reactions, information coming in on those raids. I'm also going to request Executive Editor Gaurav Savan. The NIA raids going on in the valley is a concerted effort on part of the government to crack down on terror elements. And what we're hearing is that those raids are presently taking place in various locations in Kashmir and here in the national capital. But I'm going to go straight across now to India Today's Executive Editor Gaurav Savan for more on this. Gaurav, this is an impact of the Hurriyat Truth tapes, the tapes that showcase the ugly side of the separatists, themselves confessing to have accepted funds over the last so many years to foment trouble in the valley. Is that why we didn't see, unrest, massive protests after the killing of Sabzar Bhatt? Is it probably the reason why the locals have seen, the people have seen, their evil ways through our investigative report?
So there are two principal reasons why the situation in 2017 after terrorist Sabzar Bhatt was killed was very different from what happened in 2016 when terrorist Burhan Wani was killed. One, the government was present in large numbers, the government was prepared, security forces were deployed, and two, equally important, if not more important, terrorists, the Pakistan and Pakistan's proxies, their funding to a very large extent has been choked. Hurriyat leaders have been caught on camera in the India Today sting saying that they've accepted money to fuel unrest in the Kashmir Valley, they've accepted money to burn schools, they've accepted money to create chaos, qayamat in Jammu and Kashmir, and especially in the Kashmir Valley. So all of that, this time the government was better prepared. The India Today sting operation has provided proof to the common man, not just in the rest of the country, but more important in Kashmir Valley, because Hurriyat are only representatives of Pakistan. They are Pakistan's proxies. They speak Pakistan's language, further their agenda. It's the elected representatives of people of Jammu and Kashmir who've been seeking peace all along. Now the Hurriyat stands completely exposed. So far, the government wasn't going after them, perhaps for lack of proof. But this time, when India Today provided proof of confessions, the government is now systematically trying to choke funds. That's the most important aspect. And an FIR against SAS Geelani, investigations against karate, all of that is extremely significant. But the next step will be even more crucial, not just in terms of choking funds, but choking their voices when it comes to fueling unrest in Kashmir Valley.
All right, absolutely. And remember, the government has not really been engaged in any talks with the separatists. I'm going to go straight across now to Shuja ul Haq, who's joining us live from the area where those raids are taking place. Shuja, give us more details. The stunning confessions of the separatists has led to the raids, the questioning and the FIR that we're hearing that has been registered against Saeed Ali Shah Geelani. Give us the latest. What's happening?
Well, Avantika, even as we speak, the raids are still on. In fact, we are live from one of the places where the NIA team has just landed and are conducting searches. This is the area. This is, in fact, that house is where the raids are being carried out. You can see contingents of paramilitary forces, police force, which are aiding these NIA teams to conduct these raids. We don't exactly know what is transpiring inside, but so far sources have said that they are looking for details, bank details, transaction details, and other documents to establish what exactly, how these transactions have happened. There are two cases that are being, investigated here. One, of course, the preliminary inquiry that was registered after the India Today sting, and the case of funding from across the border.
All right, Shuja and Gaurav, thanks so much for joining us. We'll continue to get you more updates and news on those raids taking place at multiple locations in Kashmir and here in the national capital, raids that have been conducted by the NIA on the separatists following the Hurriyat Truth tapes and India Today investigative report.